When I was a teenager, I had no clue what I wanted to do when I graduated high school. I was in the 11th grade, and I remember my grandfather asking me, "Boy, what is it that you want to be when you grow up?" And he used to ask me this question all the time as a kid. And my canned response was always, "I want to be a scientist when I grow up." I don't know why he used to say that. I enjoyed science as a kid. I went to math and science magnetic programs in San Diego, California. I like math. I like doing dissection. I like doing things that made me think and, somewhat nerdy. So I used to always say I wanted to be a scientist, not really understanding really what that meant, but that was my canned response. And so he used to always tell me, "Well, I'm going to give you two pieces of advice. One, don't get married. And two, go into computers." And my little young, fresh mind didn't know what he was talking about. So I'm like, "Grandpa, well, why should I not get married?" And he said, "Well, women are crazy and men are stupid. Women are just out of their mind crazy and men are stupid for messing with them." I was like, "Okay, Grandpa, aren't you married to Grandma? Weren't you married to Grandma before that, Grandma?" So, love my grandfather for that. But he used to tell me to go into computers, and I used to be like, well, why computers? Like, well, that's the future. So I took that bit of advice and just kept it in the back of my mind. I had another conversation with my aunt Gina, who, by my limited understanding of what success was successful. She had a nice home, a nice family. She was married. She was happy. She had a career. So she asked me, "Well, what is it that you want to do when you grow up?" And I told her, "I don't really know. I mean, I kind of know that I want to do something with computers." And so her advice to me was, "Well, I think all young people should do at least 4 years in the military." And that was the furthest thing from my mind, doing anything to do with the military. But I was like, "Well, why is that, Aunt Gina?" And she said, "Well, the first few 4 years of your life, you don't really know what you want to do, but if you do this, you'll at least leave with money for school. You'll have a skill, a trade. You'll travel around the world, all before you figure out what it is you really want to do in life." And I thought, wow, that kind of makes sense. Long story short, I joined the Navy. I went to basic training in 1997. And I didn't like my experience in the Navy all that much, but I do appreciate all the lessons and things that I learned. After basic training, they shipped me off to the first school that everybody in the Navy goes to who has a rate designation. And mine just happened to be what's equivalent now to what is called ITA school. And this is where they send all the IT people, and IT is a rate in the Navy that stands for Information Systems Technician. So as an IT man, I went to ITA school. And the very first instructor that I had in this A school was a gentleman by the name of IT2 Johnson. And IT2 Johnson was my complexion. Here I am, this fresh naval recruit sitting in this class, learning computer jargon and Unix and satellites and antenna communication, the difference between super high frequencies, SHF, and ultra high frequencies, UHF, and cryptographic equipment like the Coke machine. Lots of stuff just being poured into us 8 hours a day for months. It would just teach us everything that we need to know as a generic thing of IT. So my very first IT teacher was a guy who looked just like me. Well, he had glasses. So after I graduated from that school, and I did pretty good, when you finish that school, based on your ranking in the school, you get to choose where you want to go to your first command. And so based on my ranking in the school, I got one of the first picks. So I just wanted to come back home to San Diego, California. So I got shipped back to San Diego to my first ship, which was the USS Bonhomme Richard. On the USS Bonhomme Richard, one of my first assignments, I got assigned to an IT shop under a gentleman by the name of IT2 Pace. And Pace just so happened to be another guy with the same complexion as myself. Pace had super swag, his uniform was always clean, his shoes were always shined. He was really detail oriented, like, very, I don't know if this is the right term, but OCD-ish, so he taught me everything I needed to know about Unix system administration. And so I was a junior system administrator. He was a senior system administrator. So he would always have me doing things at night, the backups, the recoveries if we needed them. We put together this magnetic media library where we kept 365 8mm tapes of super secret information, unclassified information, classified information about the entire ship. And we would, perform these backups and do these restores and everything. And sometimes if the client side had issues, I would go down to that particular department, help the users get connected back up so they could, interact with the system we were monitoring and we were administering. So my first few IT experiences were taught to me by guys who looked just like me. And so, well, Spurs, why are you telling us this story about your beginnings into IT? So fast forward now, many years later, after I left the Navy, I eventually went to work for a company called SPAWAR, which is an acronym for Space and Naval Warfare. And I did that for 5 or 6 years. And then after I finished my degree at San Diego State University in a business degree in information systems, I decided to leave defense tech and go into fintech or financial tech. In the financial sector, I started working at a company called CoreLogic, who had this proprietary system, and they had this product called the Merge and Merge Plus, where their system would connect to all the different credit bureaus, the TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, take their scores and then combine those scores, merge them, and come up with their own proprietary scoring system. So I did that for a few years. Then eventually I ended up working for FICO, which is Fair Isaac Corporation, who is the creators of the FICO credit score. So I worked at FICO for a while, and we did some loan origination systems. And ultimately, fast forward again to today, here I am. I'm a business systems analyst still, and a project manager at UC San Diego. Again, why are you telling us this boring background of this IT career? Well, here I am, 2017, and I remember when I was a kid, the first few pieces of advice came from people who looked like me, who encouraged me to pursue this career in the IT field. So working with some brilliant minds in the neighborhood. So I a lot of my friends are educators. They work in the education sector. And I myself, who has aspirations of one day becoming a professor and teaching, and I love working with children, I decided, well, what is there something that I could do to give back to the community based on what the community has given to me? How can I give that back to the community? And I was thinking, well, in San Diego, we have a group of the community that's being left behind. What do I mean by this? Academically, there's studies and statistics that show that mathematically, African American children are doing the worst, followed by, Hispanic children, and then other children, and, and so I thought, well, how can this be? All the people I know who look like me are intelligent. They're all very smart. They're very creative, and have a lot of ingenuitive approaches to solving the problems around them. So how can I help? How can I do this? So a group of people and I, an amazing group, came up with this idea to do something called lilSTAR. Now, what is lilSTAR? lilSTAR is an acronym, lilSTAR, lil, which stands for little, and STAR, which stands for Southeast Technology and Robotics. And Southeast is a community within the San Diego, California area. It's a sub-community within San Diego, and in that community, it's the focus area that I feel could have the most impact to raising some of the academic success in the city. So what do we want to do with lilSTAR? Well, lilSTAR's mission really is just to build, educate, and mentor the youth in the underserved communities of San Diego by, exposing them to professionals that might look like them, or just professionals that understand their culture and their learning styles. So we put together a set of programs, and so I've been networking with people around the city, around the country, who also believe in this vision. And so we're trying to bring, robotics programs, software development, internships for youth, and a whole bunch of other exciting things that I think can give back to the community, and also help inspire a young person who might be just like me, who doesn't really know what he wants to do in life and could use some encouragement to go on and pursue greatness. So if you want to get involved, please get involved. Go on over, visit lilSTAR.org. That's lilSTAR.org. Let me know if you feel like being a part of this mission, if you want to get involved in any capacity. We're taking volunteers, we're taking technical professionals, we're taking educators, we're taking people who just genuinely care about the same underprivileged and underserved youth in certain communities, and trying to give them an opportunity to live a decent lifestyle and to pursue careers that could actually affect their communities around them. So if you feel like getting involved, if you feel like you want to be a part of this lilSTAR message, this mission, again, visit lilSTAR.org, lilSTAR.org. There you'll find buttons to, if you just want to contribute, you can. We don't, we're not asking for a bunch of money yet, because our program is really in the beginning stages, but anything can help. So if you feel like donating $1, pull $1 out of your pocket and donate it to the cause. And if you don't, that's fine. If you just want to sign up a youth who feels like they might be able to benefit from learning and working with some of the awesome volunteers that I have so far. It would take me forever to go through all the names of the people who have been supporting me and who have been supporting this vision and mission, because this isn't about me. This is all about the youth. So, if you want to know more details about what we're doing, please visit us, lilSTAR.org. Talk to you later.